welcome back to my channel. It's Megan, and today I'm sharing with you my wrap-up of January specifically for books and movies. As I mentioned previously, and as you've seen in my new to be watched video, I'm trying to include more TV and movies in my channel as well. I'm going to do like TV movie reviews, TV movie wrap-ups, TV movie TBRs or TBWs, to be watched, so on and so forth. So I wanted to do my January wrap-up of all the movies and TV shows I watched in January. Also, check out this shirt. I don't know why, but graphic tees with cats on them have been so funny to me recently, so I have like 3 or 4 of them now. So the first movies I have to share are all Christmas movies. I was in Mexico during Christmas, so I didn't get the chance to celebrate Christmas with my family. So our Christmas was actually the first weekend in January, so like January 7th and 8th I want to say it was. So like all the first week of January I was still in full-on Christmas mode watching Christmas movies. Some of these are from the list of movies I wanted to watch during Christmas season. So first up we have the Klaus Family 1 and 2. This is actually a series of movies that came over from another country. I don't know if it was like specifically Dutch or Swedish or French or something. It was from another country, and you could tell because the movie was dubbed, and I didn't realize that, and I kept like pausing because the audio and the like mouth movements were not in sync, and it was bothering me so much, and I'm like, why is this not working? And then I found out it was subbed, and I was like, that makes sense, or dubbed rather, and I was like, oh, that makes sense. It's because they're literally not saying the words that are happening. So it was a really cute little series in which our main character, who is a young boy, he stops believing in Christmas until he finds out that his grandpa is actually Santa Claus. And he has this like negative feeling towards Christmas because his father died on the previous year's Christmas Eve. So he has these negative emotions associated with Christmas, understandably, and so the grandpa slash Santa Claus is working to restore that Christmas spirit and asks for the young boy to help him save Christmas. Yeah, good for Christmas time. Next up we have the Christmas Chronicles 1 and 2. These are a set of movies starring Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell is Santa Claus in them, and we are following a young girl who is like super into capturing movies and videos as her Christmas wish list to Santa because her father, who passed away — what is up with all these parents passing away? Her father passed away, and he was always super into like videotaping Christmas time, so she like makes it her mission to videotape Christmas time now. And when she's trying to capture video of Santa Claus, she ends up like crashing his sleigh, and so they are then of course forced to help Santa and save Christmas. We always love a good saving Christmas movie, right? Then more on the like romance, holiday, Hallmark side of the Christmas movies is the trilogy of A Christmas Prince. First we have A Christmas Prince, and then A Royal Wedding, and then A Royal Baby. I watch these ones all the time. This was my second time watching the full trilogy. I think I've watched A Christmas Prince almost every Christmas since it first came out, and I just really think it's fun. I love royalty and Christmas, and just combining the two makes my heart all aflutter. Speaking of royals, and speaking of Christmas, and speaking of romance, we also have the trilogy of the Christmas Switch. Yep, the Princess Switch. In this we are following a young baker and a Duchess who switch places so that the Duchess has a chance at figuring out what it feels like to be normal for a couple days before she ends up marrying the prince. And of course the prince falls in love with the baker, and the Duchess falls in love with being a normal human. That trilogy is always fun, and then it's starring Vanessa Hudgens, so it's always interesting to watch her like character acting depth. So yeah, just a fun little series. We even get like a weird high society snobby but like also criminal cousin in movie 2, so that's interesting as well. And then of course I had to watch Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. This one is just, oh, I love it so much. I always watch Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. It has the 3 short like snippet episode stories of, first is Donald, which is where Huey, Dewey, and Louie wish for it to be Christmas every day, and then they find out the true meaning of Christmas. And then the second one is Goofy and Max, and Goofy is teaching Max about Santa, and Max starts to not believe in Santa anymore, so Goofy's like trying to restore his belief, which is super cute. And then the third one is about Mickey and Minnie, and this one always gets me about how they want to buy presents for each other, but they're both not able to afford the presents they want to get. And Mickey has a harmonica and wants to get a gold chain for Minnie's watch, and Minnie has his gold watch and wants to get a case for the harmonica, and Mickey sells his harmonica to get the chain, and Minnie sells her watch to get the case and then the gift, and it's like, oh, I can't even use these. Breaks my heart. Fills me with joy every time. I love Mickey's Once Upon a Christmas. And then the last Christmas movie I watched in January was Falling for Christmas, which is the new Lindsay Lohan movie. This one was okay. I wasn't a huge fan of the acting, rather the plot line. Amnesia can be really hit or miss for me, so it was definitely okay. It was cute. I don't know if I'd ever watch it again though. Next up were some non-Christmas movies. First we have Matilda. I watched the Matilda musical. Super cute. I'd never listened to the Matilda music before, but now I believe that I want to be Miss Honey in the Matilda musical. She has a stellar song. Love that. So I will be listening to that song quite a bit in the future. Next up we have Senior Year. This is a movie starring Rebel Wilson, in which a young girl goes into a coma in her senior year and wakes up, I think it's 20 years later, and decides that she wants to go back and complete senior year since she didn't get to the first time around. And she was very set on like being popular and being prom queen, being head cheerleader, and all of this stuff was what she wanted in life, and it's like her learning that there's more to life than those things. Also, the girl who played Sabrina the Teenage Witch was in it, I'm pretty sure. I think that was her. Yeah. I also watched The Last Summer, and this one had the guy who plays Archie in Riverdale in it, and it also had, I'm forgetting what her name is, but she played a character, one of the main characters in Teen Beach Movie. I don't know why that's the one that comes to mind. But that was a really fun one about like these high schoolers going through their last summer right before college and figuring out what they want out of life, and like romances and how to continue that romance, or if they should break it off before going to college, and all that nonsense that happens in those young teenage years, you know. That one was really cute as well. And then the final one that I watched that was not a rewatch and was not a Christmas movie was Glass Onion. Probably my favorite movie of the month. I really enjoyed this. I loved Knives Out, so watching Glass Onion was really fun, and seeing all these like big actors and actresses playing in these roles was really fun. I truly think our main character of the detective is just thriving in that role. Sean Connery, I think it is. It's the guy that played James Bond, and I am terrible with names, so don't sacrifice me in the comments for that if it's not Sean Connery. I'm just gonna look this up because I'm terrible with names. Glass Onion cast. Daniel Craig, that's who it was. Who is Sean Connery? Where did that even come from? Oh, so Sean Connery did play James Bond at one point, so there's that. At least I was somewhat in that vein. But it was Daniel Craig. I think Daniel Craig is actually thriving and being in this role of this detective. This like southern gay, elaborately, uniquely, what's the word I'm looking for? Eclectically dressed detective. I think it's so fun, and I just really enjoyed it overall. I know a lot of people said that it felt very like shallow, not like it was easy to solve. I personally didn't see a lot of it coming, so I don't know what that says about my like capacity to solve mysteries, but I thought it was a good movie and I really enjoyed it and I loved the comedy in it. And then finally I just watched a bunch of Disney movies because that's just who I am. I always have to fit a Disney movie in somehow. So I watched the entire Tinkerbell series. So Tinkerbell, Tinkerbell and the Lost Treasure, Tinkerbell and the Great Fairy Rescue, Tinkerbell and the Secret of the Wings, my favorite of the 6, Tinkerbell and the Pirate Fairy, and Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Never Beast. And then I also watched Hercules. That is one of my all-time favorite Disney movies. The soundtrack, top tier. Two very different things. Hercules, soundtrack, top tier. Superior. So those were all the movies I watched. And then I also watched a few TV shows. I picked up Friends for the first time. I watched almost all the way through the first season. I think I made it to episode 21 or 22 out of 24. So that should be an easy finish in February. I watched all the I Am Groot shorts. They're 5 minutes each. There's like only 5 or 6. Super easy to power through, but super cute. I watched all of Miss Marvel. I was hesitant going into it because Captain Marvel isn't one of my favorite superheroes, but I thought the Miss Marvel series was a lot of fun and it was cool to see the diversity of the main character. And then I did start The Legend of Korra with Anthony. I think we got like 6 to 8 episodes into the first season. So that is my January wrap up of all the movies and TV shows I watched in January. Let me know down below what you guys watched or what you plan to watch in February, and I'll check in with you in my next one. Bye friends.